Hello everyone, I'm Freaky Games, aka Touch the Stick on CFN, and this is my guide to help you learn Falke. So let's get into it. Episode 1, her normals. Falke's lights are her standing light punch, her crouching light punch, her standing light kick, and her crouching light punch. The stand and crouch light punch serve a similar purpose, as they are good far-reaching lights which can be great at catching the opponent trying to walk you down or canceling into specials if you're on offense. So, if say Ryu's trying to get offense and you're holding down for your Kugel here, you could just do a stand light punch into a DP. You could also, if you're, say, you're cornered, be looking to confirm this or catch a whiff with your stand light punch. Go into a catapult, decent corner push away. If you're on offense, you could do something like a stand light punch, a crouch light punch into a DP, which, see, I promise you, does actually combo. Two stand light punches into a catapult. Just be wary, you cannot cancel these lights into EX Catapult. Will not work. Nor can you cancel Crouching Light Punch into Catapult unless it is counter hit. The same goes with her Stand Light Kick. And speaking of her Stand Light Kick, this button here, the Stand Light Kick, is a very underutilized button, I find, for most of us Falke players. I, however, believe it's very good at controlling mid-range, because it goes far. It's only 5 frames on startup. It's +3 on block up close, so if you're up close, you can start pressure off with that. And on counter hit or regular hit, it goes into stand medium punch, which is like your main damage button that goes into like everything. So it's just I think it's just a really good button. Like I said, it can be canceled into catapult on counter hit. It can be canceled to at any range with EXDP. From farther away, though, you have to be careful because DP will whiff. So the safest thing you can do with this button, if you want to just poke and prod at your opponent, is to do a stand light kick into Kugel. And lastly, for her lights, we have crouching light kick, which your primary use for crouching light kick will just be to, up close, will just be to either go into crouch light punch DP, tick throw, or you can shimmy with it. It's actually a pretty far-reaching normal, so it's actually one of those normals that I find are good for closing out a round, as it doesn't go as far as, say, Rashid's crouching light kick, but it is plus on block, and you can get quite a few of them. You can do like 2 crouch light kicks into her crouch medium kick. So overall, not a fantastic button, but it does have its uses. On to her mediums. She has, so this is stand medium punch, crouching medium punch, stand medium kick, and crouching medium kick. Her stand medium punch is good for up close pressure and converting hits into damage, and can be special canceled into any of her specials. So it gets a hit, we cancel into another normal, we special cancel, we get good damage. On block, it is +3, so up close, this allows us to get a micro walk throw, or we could do something like this, a micro walk stand jab, and hit him into Kugel. So very useful button. Also, it's +3, so you could also just, if they block it, do a small micro walk and do another one, and if that counter hits, you go into stand medium kick and go into damage it regardless. So pretty useful, pretty good. Next up is her crouching medium punch, which I think is probably her best button in her toolkit. The reason being that it's great for controlling mid-range, as it is hard to whiff punish, and even if the opponent jumps, most of the time, even if you whiff the crouch medium punch, you can still block the jump in time. The only downside, however, though, is that it can only be cancelled into her V-triggers. So let's have Ryu, I'll show you the jump thing, so let's have Ryu jump here. We're gonna do, we'll have Ryu jump the medium punch, so you'd still be able to block that. Now, on to stand medium kick. Stand medium kick is a great button in combination with Kugel, as you could just do this for a lot of chip damage. And it leaves you at +2, so if you're at range, like here, This actually allows you to do a slight little micro step into another stand medium kick, which you could just go into Google, or you can confirm it since stand medium kick did get buffed this season and is now actually confirmable. This is your main. So the difference between crouch medium punch and standing medium kick is as they operate kind of the same range. Is crouching medium punch is very much a defensive button, while stand medium kick is your offensive button. And also, its big purpose this season, besides hit confirming, is that it can be canceled into her target combo. And speaking of her target combo, the target combo is like her best meterless way to get Oki. As you can just dash up, you can get throw after, or you can go into a meaty. Or, its main use if you're using V-Skill 2 is it allows you to set up a free V-Skill 2. Now lastly, we have to talk about her crouch medium kick, which I find I only use it's an okay button at mid-range. I find its best use is to do something where, because this is 8 frames and this is 7 frames, so this is slightly faster. Doesn't go as far, but I try to hit confirm it into, say, like a V-Trigger 2 activation to get myself out of the corner. That's the only real use of it. You can also use it to try to, like, maybe whiff punish another character's crouching medium kick. But you won't really be doing that because your two best whiff punish buttons are your stand medium kick and definitely your stand heavy punch. Which your stand heavy punch can whiff punish mediums from like super far away. And so can your stand medium kick. So you won't really be using this button. But if you're in V-Trigger 2, you can also cancel it. So it does have its uses. I just find it's not a very useful button that you actually need to really worry about. So on to her heavies. We have standing heavy punch, forward heavy punch, crouching heavy punch, standing heavy kick, forward heavy kick, and her sweep. So, standing heavy punch is her best whiff punish button. Overall, this actually might be her best button. I think crouch medium punch is, but this button for offense is fantastic. A lot of the time, you can whiff it and still be able to block, or sometimes even EXDP a jump in. It's great at mid-range poking, at catching characters' buttons, and then you would just cancel into Catapult or EX Catapult. And it's only -3 on block, so if you're kind of far away, you never, like, you could just blindly just do this, so you could just make yourself plus. This allows you to do that, or it puts you back at the perfect range to be able to zone your opponent. So, very useful button. It probably is her best button. I just prefer the crouch medium punch. Forward heavy punch is obviously a great poking tool to keep your opponent away. You can cancel the forward heavy punch into any of her V-triggers. You got to be careful where you place this, however, because this button is very easy to whiff punish, and your opponent, if you throw this as someone is jumping, you will eat a jump in combo, and you may lose the round because you throw a forward heavy punch. So, although it's a very strong poke, your better poke is actually to try to control the mid range with crouching medium punch and stand medium kick. Before heavy punch is still a good button. Don't get me wrong. Crouching heavy punch, it's a good anti-air button, and you mainly use it outside of anti-airing. Into combos such as, up close stand medium punch, crouch heavy punch. That would be optimal. You can use it to whiff punish certain normals, but because of the angle it goes to, it is way more reliable to use stand heavy punch. Like I said, you can use crouch heavy punch because it is 1 frame faster than stand heavy punch, but this is more reliable, and since her stand medium kick is 8 frames, this is much more reliable than using this. So you'll only be using this to anti-air characters like Ken, because they have really good jump arcs, and DP is unreliable, or just for comboing. Or again, if they're blocking, you could just do something fake. This is fake, but you could do something like this. to get some free chip damage. Okay, so stand heavy kick. Let's turn on counter hit. Is a decent mid-range poke, but it's also your main crush counter button, as if you hit it, you can dash up and convert to a full combo. So you can get it up to, you can get 272 damage for free. And that's a very easy combo to do, by the way. You can also anti-air with stand heavy kick a little bit, so to get like an air crush counter. So we'll have Ryu jump, and I'll show you that. Which then you could convert into damage. You could even do a dash up DP. There's a lot of air juggle on that. At certain ranges, you can anti-air with it, but I would mainly stick to using it as a ground-based poke, or to punish an EX DP and dash up, get full combo. Forward heavy kick is a very interesting button, as on hit you can always up close. You can always go into stand medium punch and get some big damage. On block, though, so if you use it as a meaty on block, it is +3, which allows you, again, to go into stand medium punch, space yourself back out with a stand medium kick, or if they get hit, it is very big damage. So that's 270 meterless if they get hit by that. You can also use it to bait throws, as long as this is faster than them inputting a throw, you'll actually blow up their throw and get a full combo. Lastly, we will talk about the most useless button of Falke's, which you will never, ever, ever use, her sweep. You would think a character that's all about range and all about controlling the mid-range and having decent offense with her air shots and whatnot would have a good whiff punishing sweep. She does not. Her sweep, very bad. She looks like a cursed Beyblade. Very bad. The only use I could ever really find for this button would be to do something gimmicky like this. Like, say they block, you're in V-Trigger 2, they block, so you cancel the sweep. I mean, you might hit someone with that, but it's just, you can also do this for that, and that gets you a lot of chip. Doing DP into it also gets you a lot of chip, right? So, I don't know. I think this button is absolutely useless because, again, your stand medium kick and your stand heavy punch are your best with punishing buttons. You'll only ever see this from a Falke player if they accidentally miss doing that, because sometimes you get sweep once in a blue moon. So, I hope this tutorial or guide, whatever you want to call it, has been helpful. Next episode, I will go into Falke's combos, so stay tuned. Make sure you follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/freakygames. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope it was helpful. Until next time, be well, take care of yourself, and tip your waitresses.